Alright, so I'm going to show you a quick little tutorial on how to edit a JPEG image inside of Photoshop in an easy way. So you take your image, imagine this is my JPEG, I'm just going to drag it into Photoshop and it'll open up. So if I want to apply a bunch of effects to this all at once, an easy way to do it, I'm going to copy this layer by dragging it down to this new layer. This right here is new layer. That way I'm always making the changes on this copy, so that way I can go back to the original if I need to. So I highlight this one, my copy, go up to filter, go to camera raw filter, and then it'll open up another box that we're going to be doing all of our editing in. So once we're in here, we have all these different effects that we can mess with all at once. So contrast, just bump things up a little bit. If you want your exposure to go down, you can adjust temperature of things to make it more cool, more warm. Clarity, you can bump things up. A lot of these are good to do subtle and not make massive changes, otherwise it can destroy your image in a hurry. But this is a good way to edit a lot of features all in one window. Then if you go all across the top, there's all kinds of different effects you can mess with. Sharpening, sometimes you need to sharpen up the image just a little bit. What else do we got? If you ever need to do a vignette, that is in here as well. Subtle vignette. Sometimes the corners are a little dark, so you might need to lighten them even. You can go the opposite way. Just leave that right there for where it's at. And then this one's going to be back to our original where you have all these features. If you hit this button right here with the two arrows, this will go back to what we had before and now what we changed it to. And once you're done making your adjustments, you just click OK and it's going to pop up back in our Photoshop window, and you can turn that off and on to see the original and then the one that we made the new changes to. And once you're in here, you can do all kinds of things in Photoshop. Just a couple simple things that might come in handy are crop tool, which is going to be over here. We can use that crop tool to get all kinds of different ratios if we need to have them that way, as well as this straighten tool here. This straighten tool, if we took our photo and a horizon's not perfectly straight, we drag this along a horizon. Imagine there's a horizon of a sunset or something back there. We do that. If we were a little crooked, it'll automatically straighten it out for you. Since this one's straight, I don't need to do that. But there's that, and then if you ever need to do some other effects on top of the ones we already did inside that camera raw filter, down here where the circle's at, there's a whole bunch of effects down in here that aren't that you can make changes to. So like levels, you can bump up the blacks a little bit if you want the blacks to be a little bit darker, and that's not permanent, is the good thing about using these effects down here. So I can turn those off and on. I can go back in and adjust those if need to be. And that's it. And then once you're done, file, save. You can either save it as the Photoshop file or save it as a JPEG and decide where you're going to save that to. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned a few easy ways to edit photos, and that's it. Thank you.